Because you know where we're going, don't you? I don't need to.
Yeah, yes.
Shit. I need to.
Yeah, so turn left.
Left.
Yeah. Ooh, what's that little beast?
That's the camera I need to finish a couple of photos in. It's
Oh, that's one you were shooting the P3200 on.
that
Was it this one? This Ryko?
There's two. There's the other one was the
50.
one with the lens adapter, the teleconverter adapter on it. Obviously, that's just got a red. It's
Fun little camera.
yeah, it's vision.
Oh right. Oh, so do it now, do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I started about 18 months ago. I set up SilverPan. I've been developing film. I've been into film cameras since since my teenage years, since the kind of early 90s. I used to have a little darkroom set up at home, developing black and white. Kind of never left me really. I've always been interested in it. Hit digital probably in about 2003, 2004. Had a digital camera for a while. Still got one, but the kind of love affair with that only lasted about 6 months, and then I picked up my Olympus OM10 again that I had, since I was 16.
So with the lab then, you were saying earlier you didn't necessarily. It wasn't because you've got that film.
The filmer map
and
processor.
You didn't buy that with the intention of being a lab.
No,
you bought it, and then
not
that
at all.
kind of gave you the idea.
But yeah, I came into a little bit of money from a relative about 2 years ago, and I thought, I've always wanted to do something that makes colour film easy. So I found this guy Lucas Fritz from Germany. He was hand building these machines. He just started up. I think I read about it on one of the forums. A fully automatic home small film processor, the likes of which you haven't seen for kind of 20 years since Jobo used to make them. So I just went for it. I thought I'll get that, and that'll make my colour processing easier. And then once I'd started using it, just something sparked off in my brain. It's like, I could do this for other people as well. And that was the germ of the idea really. Once I saw the results I was getting from that machine, I thought, there's a business here. Nice one.
How do we pay?
I'll go and do it now.
It's bright out here. I just realised I've left my phone in the car.
Okay.
So go back and get the phone.
Right.
If we find somewhere down by the front, and then we'll just have a quick conversation about metering, I think.
Okay.
This is weird being here because it's literally last time I was here was when I was absolutely shitting myself having to do this presentation.
In the M shed. Yeah.
It's horrible. So this process I've been going through with these blog posts about Ektachrome, obviously the main thing has been about essentially learning how to meter better for it.
Because is it right that this is kind of your first kind of experience with slide film?
Although I've shot it like years ago, I have no recollection of it in terms of, I certainly haven't shot it with any real understanding of the difference between reversal and negative film. When I spoke to Andy at Kodak about it, I said that what I wanted to do was put together a series of posts breaking down some of the misconceptions. Yeah. And I think that a lot of what a lot of people say about reversal film is that it's a lot more difficult to expose well, and that there's you get all these kind of tricks and things that people talk about. But my view is that a lot of what people say is kind of overcomplicating.
Yeah, it's the classic thing, you read something on the internet and someone backs it up, and before you know it, you think there's all these 100 rules that you must follow or you won't get a picture. Yeah. But it's actually quite tolerant.
Yes, well, and not only that, the rule really is, or should be, the same as any other rule, which is essentially expose it properly and you'll
Yeah.
be fine.
I mean, I'm thinking about my first experience was back in like early 2010s, late 2009 or whatever, where, you know, I'd got back into film again after a brief thing with digital. Ektachrome was about to go away and it was all awash on the internet, so I thought, right, better start shooting that then.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I shot about 20 rolls of Ektachrome around then, just before it finished. So
Yeah.
that was like my kind of introduction. And again, just mainly shooting in either the Minolta or the Pentax K1000, I think, back then.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, mainly just using just the internal meter in the camera. And yeah, it was
Getting decent enough result.
yeah, sometimes things are underexposed, but generally okay.
So somewhere in here, I've got my chosen meter. So you're metering with the internal
So I'm
meter.
just going to use the internal meter on the X700. You know, and I've got my exposure compensation there if, you know, we're doing a backlighted scene or I just want to tweak it slightly. But other than that, I think it's just a center weighted average reflective meter in it, and I'm just going to use that.
So I've got a Gammon Digi 6 2, which I was going to set to exposure index 80, I think.
Oh yeah, so just slightly tweaks.
Because we've had this kind of, I haven't done it yet, but a lot of people have said, and including yourself,
give it a little bit more
give
light.
it a little bit more light.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens if we do that. I think I've got to work out how to use it.
So that makes sense because
to use it.
it's a 100 speed film, but often the misconception that gets spread about sci film is that it's ridiculously easy to overexpose it and blow the skies out, you know, which is true to a degree compared to negative film. With slide film, obviously, because of the lower dynamic range of it, if you haven't got anything in the shadows, there's nothing there. So you're fine, bump it up a third of a stop and get a bit more light in the shadows.
There we go, that's locked in now. So they do like a little shoe mount thing, so you can, because it's got...
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's got the Invicone on it.
So the Invicone type thing for instant readings, and you flip it away for the reflective readings, and then it takes a meter reading.
It'd be interesting to see how the readings compare, actually.
So where are we going?
Well, it's great around here. Or go around and have a look at the boats. Have a look around some of the cool containers, sheds.
Should we not go where those hundreds of children are?
I think they're probably having a tour of the Matthew, I would imagine.
Let's go this way to start with.
Okay. Cool.
Not too much in the shadow of that building, am I really? You wouldn't have thought, would you? So at F11, I'm getting 1/30th.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Let's see what I get on my phone.
Yeah, I'm getting 125 F11, which makes sense. Kind of sunny 16.
Yeah, so sunny 16. Now the sun's out, I'm getting sunny 16.
Which is basically what I'm getting. Oh, yeah. So that's a good start.
Shot myself in the foot here today because I've got this desire to not fuck up a roll, but at the same, I've got to get used to
using that.
a new meter. This is me creating the excuses
For later.
for later. Yeah, exactly that.
John King.
I'd read that as Don King to start with. That's something else altogether, isn't it? I bet you've taken shitloads of photos down here.
I've taken lots of pictures down here, yeah.
These don't feel like very good photos.
I'm not. It's like, you know how it takes a while to get into your zone?
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of a boat.
Too much stuff is just
Because
distracting.
I pretty much, I'm always chopping and changing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I feel quite conscious of the fact that we're like standing in front of the camera like this. It's all right though, isn't it?
It's all
No
right.
one cares anymore.
No.
I used to be worried before I started doing it.
People always film. They're always filming something
Oh,
down here as well, because it's always
I'm not-
historical stuff, you know.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't give a monkeys about other people. I'm just from a point of view of the video not looking shit. What's up, guys?
Yeah. So you're just sticking with 50mm.
Yes, and you're not.
No, yeah. I've got a 28, a 50, and a 135,
Yeah.
and it's like,
So I've just got this particular Canon lens is a lens that I'm writing about at the moment.
oh yeah.
But apart from that, I do generally find that if I take more than one lens, I can't concentrate.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I mean, even the fact that I've got this point and shoot camera in here that I want to finish the roll.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh, shall I
that
get it
feels
out?
like a nagging thing in my head.
Yeah.
Whereas if I've just got one lens and one camera, I can just
Well,
completely
it does simplify things. Doesn't
focus on that and not have to think about a million other things. But you're
Well,
your brain has the capacity for multiple lenses.
I like the wide angle for the, for the shots like this.
Yeah.
The 135 is one of my favourites lens actually.
Yeah.
I like how it compresses.
Yeah.
Compresses the field of view and that. Gets you a bit closer. But
I like to have one camera lens when I'm out, and then shitloads of cameras and shitloads of lenses in my cupboard at home.
it's similar with film, isn't it? It's cool. You're doing this the Ektachrome and the P3-200.
Yeah.
I'm serious, and you just want to stick with that for someone. I think that's a really good, valid thing to learn to do it. But there's a lot of thing on the internet. You should only pick one black and white film and use it for the rest of your life and get it. It's like there's so much choice now. I'm all for let's try them all and see what you like.
But it's not how life works, is it? Yeah. It's good to learn things and hone in on what works and what doesn't. But equally, it's also nice to try other things. I really like fish and chips, but I also like roast dinners. I've said that a million times.
I prefer curry.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, let's go take some more pictures.
Yeah.
And that felt like that was probably the first interesting photo I've taken today.
I haven't taken one yet.
Yeah, I don't really know with these videos. I don't really know what we're doing. I don't really have got a goal or an aim for it.
Oh, here comes a shark boat.
Say again?
Here comes a shark boat. It's always a good one.
Shark boat. Oh yeah. What is that boat?
It's always one of the ferries. They run the ferry up and down the harbour and do the pub crawl like.
So when are you going to organise another meetup? When are you going to organise a meetup? You fucking organise it. I'll come. I haven't got time to be fucking around organising things all the fucking time.
Pizza boobs. We've all got them.
It's one good reason to go down there. Couldn't make a photo. I wanted to go down there thinking I was going to be able to take a nice photo, and got down there and went, no, this looks shitter than it did a minute ago, so I'm going to go back up again. I'm going to wait for the sun to come out, I think.
Yeah.
It all looks a bit flat and shit when it's not sunny, doesn't it? Saw you then, I was like, there's a guy there with the video camera. Oh, it's Will.
Third of the way through, how about you?
9.
Oh. Better hurry up then.
It's that quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
That was some really shitty slow maths then, that wasn't it? Down this way, are we going? Am I leading us in
nothing really. We go around that way for the. I mean, there's more boats.
Don't fuck off again. See, when I was doing the last roll that I shot, it was down by the docks in Worcester.
Yeah.
To say docks, Diglis Basin is not very much docked. But it was quite interesting, the results when I took, using an instant meter, direct sunlight of these boats just looked absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Like they were just that kind of
low
key, all of the detail in the highlights.
Yeah.
But sort of
smoky shadows.
That's what
deep shadows.
Yeah. That's what reversal film, in theory, looks like in my head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what it should look like.
High contrast, glossy colour.
That's it. Yeah. Really,
But again, a lot of it is based on the light. If you haven't got the light, it's still going to be flat, isn't it?
Yeah. But that shot then, so when I was here and I was in the shade and I could see the light there, and it was the light that I wanted to capture landing on those. So I was like, right, well, I need to step into that bit of light to take the reading of that bit of light. And that's the opposite to what I would have done with negative film. If I was in the shade,
you get as much
I'd be like, well,
in the shadows.
I'm quite comfortable taking this meter reading in this shadow because I know that negative film will handle those highlights absolutely fine. And that's what everybody says is the difference between reversal film and negative film. But it's that kind of, it's the subtlety of, people always say, oh, exposed for the shadows, exposed for the highlight. To me, those phrases are so easily misconstrued that it's only actually when you start shooting with reversal film, it's not like find the brightest bit of highlight in the whole frame and take a reading off that, because else you're going to lose that. It's take a meter reading in the light that you want a meter for,
the bit that you want to capture.
The bit that you want to capture. Whereas with negative film, actually, you're better off erring towards the shadows. Slightly. Not like, I mean, I went to a workshop once where the guy was saying, find the darkest area in the room
and then make that
and take a meter reading. And
that's
you're just massively overexposing then.
3 stops over.
That's it. It's just that difference between, if you've got a bit of dappled light, well, it's that shadow bit of that dappled light for your negative film, and as it is now, the light bit of the.
A little trick I used to do with negative film, if I didn't know what I was meeting for, is to put your hand out, meter your hand, and then give it 1 stop extra, and that will give your skin all seem to work okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how scientific that is, but it's to do that.
It's a lot of what shooting neg film is about, though, isn't it? It seems to work okay.
Yeah.
It's this type of light that I really like with this film. That sort of dappled.
Yeah, especially with the reflections off the water as well as chucking it back up. Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. One good thing you've got in Bristol, plenty of opportunity for seagull pictures.
Yeah, seagull.
You never go wrong with a seagull. Thanks. Thank you.
Or customers.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good thing.
Always handy. Oh, 20. Another 16 to go.
Oh, man, I'm lagging. I'm like 13. Let's pick up the pace, don't I?
Well, to be honest, the whole thing, you know, I very rarely do like what we're doing. They just got to strangers and say, I'll take your picture. But it's kind of, it's rare that I'm in a situation with other people taking pictures, so it just feels more natural to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot less odd feeling, isn't it? When
Yeah.
you spend too fucking much time, don't I? That's my problem.
Yeah, but you'll get the shot, whereas I'm like, right, oh yeah, and I'll end up with several average shots.
It's the worst thing about doing these videos and doing this sort of thing. Is that
you've got to get something that you want to present.
You've got to get something that's presentably not shite.
Yeah.
But also, there's a whole other kind of level of concentration that's required.
Bit of a weird request. Would you mind if I took your picture? I just like the way you were sat on the bench. I thought, oh, it looks, you know.
Well, we are here frequently.
Oh, right. So you live in Bristol?
We do.
If you don't mind me asking, you're originally from America, from your accent?
Yeah, exactly right. And are you Bristolian?
Well, I lived here. I'm from Wales originally, but I lived here for 22 years now.
Enough to...
Yeah, enough to be almost considered Bristolian. And if I get any pictures out of it and I see you on the bench again, because quite regularly, I'll come and bring you a print.
I won't mind.
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Not
Thank you. Okay.
You know, when you see a photo and then you see somebody else taking a photo, you think, I'm not going to take that photo now because he's taking it, and
I didn't get it.
Did you not get it? Bollocks, I should have gone for it then, shouldn't I? That one's going to be overexposed as well. Skateboarder HQ in Worcester.
Have you?
They're bloody all up by the cathedral. They've done this. We've got this thing called Cathedral Square.
Right.
It's like a new recent development. They're just fucking everywhere all the time. They're really annoying.
Tripping over.
It's a strong sign that I'm getting old, because I've got to the stage of my life that when I go down
More
there,
people annoy you.
Yes, but it's when I go down there and I've got the kids with me, and there's these skateboarders. They have no regard for my children whatsoever. Of course, they don't give a shit about my kids.
No.
Why would they? But
Yeah.
it really annoys me that they're just buzzing around. Just like, can you not just not do what you're doing for a minute? And fucking effing and blinding as well, and just have a bit of bloody respect. No respect, no decency. And then all this stuff comes up my head. Oh yes, no, I'm getting to that age, aren't I now? Yeah, that's happened. Agonising over what is essentially a really fucking boring photo. Need to not do that, really. Spend 3 minutes going, I wonder.
Yeah. And I think it's just a picture of a cup.
Yes.
It's some rubbish on the ground.
Do you shoot with rangefinders ever?
I've got a Yashka Electro, but you know, fixed lens one. And that's, yeah, I enjoy that.
I've had to come to terms with the fact that I look weird because I'm now a left eye shooter rather than. So that's
okay.
That's
that's
a normal way of taking photos, whereas I have to do this.
I don't suppose anyone notices.
No, probably not.
Other than you.
Well, I do because I have to push a camera against my forehead and nose to be able to see through the viewfinder.
Yeah. Why is that? As one, you've got one eye stronger than the other?
Yeah, loads. Yeah, it's, my left eye is just fine, and my right eye just consistently degrades.
Oh God.
So.
No idea what I'm taking a picture of now.
Hey?
Last picture. I don't know what to take a picture of.
You got the last one?
Yeah. Because you think, oh God, just finish it, and then you'll see something once you've got nothing left. Always away.
No, I sometimes think you're better off getting back to the car with one photo left than using it and then regretting it.
Yeah, there's chips there. Salt and malt chips. Oh, now I've run out of film for the obligatory chip shot.
You have to give us the tour again then.
So, see, it's quite small. This is the lab. As you can see, the lab, the shed. So, and the cat. Yeah, you're not allowed in here, shedding hair all over customers' films. That never happens, honestly.
Bet it bloody does.
It's where it all happens. So here I've got, this is my first machine that I had. I mean, it's a fairly small machine. Can do 2 films at a time, but I mean, the good thing about this one is it's fully programmable. So any type of process that you want to put through it, whether it's black and white, color, C41 E6, cine film, reverse, black and white reversal, you can just program it every single step and get programmed in like that. So I've been using that for about 18 months. Processing customers' films with it, and it's all come out very well. And this is an old Jobo machine, but one of the automated Jobos, again probably from the 80s, from the lovely beige plastic. This can do 5 or 6 rolls at a time in the same time. So I now use this for E6 and C41, and it's got the full chemistry 6 chemistry tanks, whereas this only got 3.
How many chemicals is C41 then?
C41 is 3 plus stabilizer. So
Right.
that's what it said. You've got your developer, separate bleach and fixer, and then a stabilizer out of the tank. And then E6. There's 2 versions. There's a condensed version that's still 3 baths, or there's the full version which I use, which is a 6 bath. So this is ideal for that because it's got the 6 tanks.
Is there any difference in quality or anything like that?
Well, they say so. I've never used the 3 bath, so the bigger labs always use the 6 baths, and it's easier to get hold of chemistry in bigger quantities in the 6 bath version. I think the benefits are, when you get down in the nitty gritty, if you're running, 40, 50 films a day, you can tweak the pH of the individual solutions to stop them drifting. But with this, it's all one shot, so it's used once and discarded anyway, so you don't have that issue. This is a jerry-rigged. Yeah, it's not that impressive, is it? It's an IKEA glass cabinet with a HEPA filter and a hot air vents at the bottom. Dries film quicker than waiting for 2 hours. Does the same job but considerably cheaper than a £2,000 drying cabinet. So
Yeah.
and a load of clothes pegs, so really high tech.
Yeah.
But don't let that put you off. The enlarger there for the time when I do get to do darkroom prints, but it's a rarity at the moment. More of a winter thing when the night's drawing quicker. And then I got my Epson colour printer there, so it's like a high-end inkjet. I would love to have done traditional RA4 printing, but the machines that run that process are as big as this whole space. Really set up for the volume.
Should
we develop some film?
Turn something on and make some pictures happen.
Most important bit of kit is the dark pad.
It surprises me that you don't have one of these
the tents.
tent things.
To be honest, I've got all the space I need in here. I've got even with 5 rolls of film and a big tank. I think it's for an 8 by 10
okay,
large format bag. So these are the Joe. So we're going to do it in the Jobo. So these are the Jobo reels. Couple there.
I don't suppose you've seen any of this before, have you?
Yeah, we shot one project on film, gave it to the lecturer, she put it on tape, lost the tape, and
Oh no.
and that was it.
Obviously, because Will works for me, I made him shoot a roll of film when he
Oh,
just
yeah,
after he started. I gave him my Pentax. I taught Will the basics of how to use a light meter and reciprocity and what the shutter speed did and all that sort of stuff. But the results showed that he'd got his head around it. Unfortunately, you could only see half the photos because the ribbons that pull the shutter blinds had snapped.
Oh no!
So
you're just getting half an image,
half photo. So Will's got.
Oh no!
I think he got about one frame out of the entire thing that was a full.
I'm thinking about getting like a Polaroid camera, so at least then I can.
At least you'll see them instantly.
Yeah, instantly bad.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disaster, really, wasn't it?
I did process one a couple of years back, cross-processed in C41, and got something. But,
how old is this?
I think it's like 1963 or something.
Oh yeah, 1963.
So that's for an experiment for another day.
You have to keep your hands in there for as little time as possible, essentially, don't you, before they get sweaty and...
It's one of those things that comes second nature after a while. I must have done 1,000 films in this.
Yeah.
You know. Lid on. Oh, goodness, I didn't mess that up. So there we are. Now we're safe to be in the light. So in that, fill it until both sides go dark. Reversal bath. Colour developer. Pre-bleach. The red one. The bleach.
It's like Ribena. Or blood. One of the two.
And then fixer. Okay, all ready to go. And then that will take about 20 minutes to warm up and then 40 minutes to process. Makes lots of interesting noises. 80s tech. Yeah, they really should start making these again. That was the first camera I ever had. So I got it in the 80s. My mum's old camera, 126. Still got a film in it. But I think the shutter's jammed on it.
Cool.
But obviously, you don't have to stick around for that. You need to get going.
Yes, we'll leave you. We'll leave you to watch the end of
I'll
that.
send you the film tomorrow.
Sound.
I'll see if I might be able to scan mine tonight and send
Yeah.
you a picture.